Hello again, welcome back to Legally Cited. This is BGFH, and I'm back here for a really interesting low vision spotlight here. Taking a look at another really weird game that's kind of been on my radar for a little while, but haven't paid much attention until it just came out, I believe, in February, I think. And the game I'm looking at today is called Octodad, Dadliest Catch. And yeah, this game, I'm glad that more games like this are starting to come out. Just sheer bizarre creative titles. You know, that's what's really great about these indie games. They don't have to go by balance sheets and what a bunch of suits say, or, well, these are popular, so let's keep making these. You know, we don't have these gray and brown corridor shooters or carbon copies of other games. I hope this trend really continues, because like back in the PlayStation 1 days, right around that time, there was some just bizarre stuff coming out, especially out of Japan. And we're starting to see more of that, you know, with the games like Octodad here, Jazz Punk, the Stanley Parable. I'm really liking these types of games, so yay for that. So let's just jump right into it here. I'm not going to continue the game. I'm not going to do a new game. But as you can tell, the main menu's got really nice, large, clear font. The whole game is actually very easy to read. Like when they have tooltips for the controls, you know, even when they show the controller, they show like the button that's blinking, you know, whether it's an analog stick or a button. This is a Steam game right now. I am using a Xbox 360 controller. You could use the PC and mouse too, but I haven't tried that control scheme. But yeah, I mean, all the interface stuff is actually really, you know, pretty minimalist and pretty clear. So instead of going to New Gamer, just continuing the campaign wherever I was, I'm going to go to Free Play, which will let me just choose an existing level that I have finished. And I should also mention before I do pop in there, one of the options that we do have is called Workshop. Now, some games in Steam have a feature called Steam Workshop, and basically this means is that through Steam, players can create their own content if the game supports it, and then you can just browse and you know, if you don't want to create it, you can just browse for and rate user created content. So with how weird this game is, I can only imagine. I haven't even delved into that yet. To see what's available. Maybe if I remember, I'll try to do that before we wrap up this video. But yeah, with how weird this game is, I can only imagine some of the craziness that might have come out by now. So instead, let's go to Free Play, and we're gonna play. That's the tutorial level. I want to play the first real level. So this game is really weird. The premise is that you're this octopus that is trying to pass himself off as a human father. So we learn in the first level that I skipped that that was his wedding day. So he was getting ready in the back, and you were putting on your suit and getting ready to meet the bride at the altar. So you're married, and now you have 2 kids. And we're going to get out of bed and turn off this obnoxious alarm. And this is me, Octodad. So we're going to turn this annoying alarm off. There we go. And while we're at it, because we've turned it off and we have it in our possession, never beep again. There we go. Chuck it across. Chuck it at the wall. So before I really go into the level too much here, I want to kind of explain to you sort of how this game works, because there's a few games that just make this game really stand out, and part of it is the humor, part of it is the weird movement of your character, and like part of it is really just the controls. So I mean, look at the way this guy's moving around. You know, you're an octopus, so you're like doing these weird, like, exaggerated movements. It's just goofy looking. Now, normally in a third-person game like this, you're used to the control scheme where you use your left analog stick to move in any direction, use your right analog stick for camera control. Well, that's not exactly how this works. So basically what you're doing is you use your analog, well, you use your left and right triggers if you're using a controller, like I am, and the left analog stick in a direction. And what you're doing is, while you're holding a direction, you actually have to hit in, alternating order. Left trigger, right trigger, left trigger, right trigger. And that's actually how you walk and get around. So yes, you actually have to perform each, quote-unquote footstep that you're taking. Now the analog sticks themselves, where they really come into play especially, is, let me go over here by the dresser here again. If I take my right analog stick, you notice I'm moving my other arm, my other tentacle here. And one thing I do like is that it makes it a little bit easier to see exactly what you're supposed to be or what you're trying to grab. You notice that it highlights, so that's a nice feature. But I use my right analog stick to go left and right, up and down. But then I use let me grab something to illustrate. So I use my bumper, like my right bumper, to pick this up. So I can move it around up and down, left and right. But if I use my left analog stick, I can control my depth. So if you're actually trying to perform a task in the game, that's where things get kind of interesting, because I've kind of come to terms with this. I've played it for quite a while and gotten through it. So, the game is pretty short. It's maybe 2-3 hours long tops, if you're really struggling with the controls. And believe me, the one knock that I do have with Octodad is that the game is best when you're in a level like this. When you're at home, the first level, even some of the next levels, not too bad. But when you're just doing a lot of these mundane tasks and just, observing the ridiculous humor of, this obvious non-human character is trying to pass himself off, and everyone is oblivious to him and just treating him like, oh yeah, that's normal, yeah, that's cool. And then using this really overly complicated control scheme, both to kind of replicate what it would be like to, try to control like an octopus and just do these mundane tasks. It's just really entertaining. But later in the game, what happens is that there are levels where you have to, there's stealth kind of things, so you really don't want to be crashing through, you don't want to be just stumbling with the controls and crashing around, causing attention so they see you. There are places later where you have to navigate almost like obstacle course-esque environments. There are places where you're trying to navigate on narrow ledges, and it's kind of tough. There's parts that can definitely be frustrating. So let's go meet the family, shall we? There we go.
Hey, look, Dad's up. Morning, Daddy.
All right, we'll enter the living room
Daddy,
here.
will you get me a unicorn?
That's the best. I love hearing Octodad's reactions. When his family talks to him or whatever, he just makes these just weird gurgling noises, and it's just everyone's like, oh yeah, I understand him.
Where do rainbows come from? Oh, where do flowers come from?
Yes.
Neat. Where do babies come from?
And I love that the subtitles don't even say what he's trying to say.
You expect me to believe that?
They just say
Is everything okay in there?
But the subtitles don't even say what he's supposed to be saying.
Tree castle this summer? You mean a tree house? No. Wizard princesses live in castles.
Okay, no, what I want to do is I want to open up this. Oh!
Ooh. Mom is gonna be so mad. Mom's gonna say loud, fast things to you.
Yep. And sometimes the camera can be frustrating, especially later again when they introduce more game elements.
Cute purple ones.
I'm just throwing stuff around.
Yeah? Can I borrow your flashlight later tonight? Why? If you put your finger over it and turn it on, you can see your finger bones. Awesome.
Alright, so you're given objectives, and down on the lower middle there, if I hit pause, you're given your objective, so we just need to go to the kitchen. So again, like I said, I was laughing a lot more when I played this the first time, but now I know what to expect, but it's still amusing, so...
Nice to see you, sleepyhead. You know Sherry from the book club? I caught her the other day eating a whole wedding cake. And nobody was getting married.
So now I've got a new objective. We gotta make coffee. So again, like I said, this is where the game is just really kind of absurd and funny. Every little task, especially by this point in the game, you're probably not really all that used to the controls. And so... There we go. Alright. Put the coffee on the... Put the pot there, and now we can grab the actual coffee. And let's sprinkle some coffee all around the kitchen floor. There we go. Alright. There we go.
So, I was stargazing last night while you were off in your man cave, and I snapped a picture of some strange lights.
And there we go.
Just a satellite or a lens flare, but, you know, what if it wasn't?
Coffee is percolating there.
Coffee, could you bring Stacy some milk?
Sure. Ooh, donuts.
I sent a picture to the Inquisitor magazine and they put it on the cover. You should pick one up, dear. Well, I can't be caught reading it.
Alright, let's go get some milk. Alright, so, mundane task. Let's open the fridge. That works pretty good. Now, just don't... Okay. Okay, we got our milk. We're gonna wander over to the... Come on. Go back to the living room. Come on.
I heard some crashing from the living room, mister. You know I just cleaned it last night.
Yeah, well, you're gonna be really impressed with me now, then, because...
How could I stay mad at you?
Oh, okay, that was completely by accident. Whee! I'm gonna make even more of a mess. Whoosh. Yes. Ooh, let's see if we can play with the clock. What can I do with the clock? Can I do anything with the clock? How about the picture? Okay, I can take the picture down. Whee! There we go. Yeah, you remember how you said you didn't want to mess? Well, yeah, about that. Let's see. There we go. Trash it a little bit more. My work here is done. Okay, you know what? You need to get through the door here, buddy. Come on. There we go. No. What? Why won't... Wait. Okay, what the hell's going on here? Okay. Let's get through the kitchen door already. Come on. You know you wanna. Come on. There you go.
The typewriter is out of ink. We've got more somewhere, right?
Alright, coffee is ready.
I made your coffee just the way you like it. Sea salt and tartar sauce.
Oh.
Just a reminder, 2 weeks from now, I'll be out of town on an assignment.
Now, I'm not a coffee fan, but even to me, that sounds pretty nasty. Alright, now, let's see. Can I... Alright, chuck that around. Let's see, what else can we do to trash the kitchen? Oh, okay, we can play in the sink. That's good. There we go. Oh, what's this? Okay, never mind. Alright, so now we are given some more...
I need you to take care of some chores in the backyard while I get some work done. There's grass to mow, weeds to pull, wood to chop, and don't forget to make burgers for lunch.
Okay. So, let's take care of the burgers first. Burgers are always good.
60. 2 directors in the last.
Dad, are hamburgers really made out of ham? Oh. What if they were made from ponies?
Okay, we're gonna... No! 5-second rule.
Such a beautiful
Okay, there we
day
go.
today. The sun is shining, the birds are singing.
No!
Worms are wiggling.
Yes, even worms are happy to be outside today.
Okay, there we go. We got 1 burger on the grill.
Don't get too comfortable, dear. I've got a busy day planned for the whole family. It's a surprise.
There you go. Have your burger. 1 down. 2 to go.
My camera's getting a bit old, honey. Any chance
Nope.
you know where to
Okay.
find an M1
There we
modified
go.
for motor drives?
Hope you like them rare. Okay, we'll go over here. 2 down.
That clown looks like a butterfly. That one looks like a dragon smashing a town.
Okay, 3rd one over
Does the
there.
town have a wizard princess
No.
in it? Lady Stacy defends the town.
Sure, but only if the dragon can be me. Tom Lord the coolest.
Okay, grab the burger.
Sphyrna Makaran, largest.
Now, can I get...
We'll
Okay.
see about that.
Come on! Oh, can't get over there. Come on. Almost. There we go.
Thanks, Dad. These look delicious.
Alright.
I bet they taste like magic.
Dinner is served.
Birds
Okay.
are so strange.
Why do you say that, dear?
Let's go weed the
If
garden.
I could fly, I would just fly to the moon and live there.
So if I pause it here, you see all the objectives that we've got now. We've got a whole bunch of them that are done, so little check marks by them. And then the ones, like if we're close to a certain objective, it'll automatically kind of highlight that one, so it tells you that you're in that area. And
Oh, my flowers!
oops.
The ladybugs are really getting out of hand this season.
Okay.
I should pick up some insecticide before they eat all my flowers.
So there is a meter.
Stacy, why
And
are
like I
your
said, the whole
butterfly
premise is
heads
that you're
all over the
trying
lawn?
not to, like, you're trying to pass yourself off as this human father. Well,
I heard if one of those seeds gets in your ear, it'll make a weed grow.
especially later on in the game where they introduce more, like, kind of gamey elements and you're not just doing these, like, mundane things, that does become a lot more of an issue, especially when you're dealing, like I said, there's some stealth areas later on, a lot more, like, people besides your family, so they're not used to it. Alright, what do we got here? So let's,
Dad, you have to blow on the weeds and make a wish. Sometimes I wish I could be purple.
get.
Wells and Jeannie's grant wishes.
There we go, chuck that over there. What else can you do here? Okay, got another weed. Chuck it over there. Just make sure it gets out of the way. Alright. So, this game does look... I mean, it probably looks pretty easy. You know, you're just doing these little simple tasks. But
I love the new
with the
slide,
control
Dad. I
scheme,
should try it.
that's what makes this game... That's what makes this game so tricky. And, like...
Stacy, why are you pouring ketchup in your brother's drink?
eh,
I'm just trying to make a potion.
Well, dear, I've got a book on chemistry that'll teach you to make
Ah.
real potions.
Well, my potion's already
Okay.
real.
now, can I grab... Haha! First try. Nice.
Dad, you should have seen this spiral I
So now we gotta mow the lawn.
50 feet or like
There we go.
100. I don't wanna brag.
Pulling this old-style lawnmower behind me. Trying to walk in a semi-straight line.
Well, I
Whoa.
would mow the lawn,
Okay,
but
come on.
I hurt my knee at basketball practice. baseball, and my foot at...
Okay, I missed that. That's just the animation just completely sells this.
There's one episode of Sports Johnson where he goes back in time and meets his son, Sports Johnson Jr., or SJJ, and he and his son have to dream.
Okay, go this way.
Pluto, and they do. And Dad, are we ever gonna play soccer together?
Come on. Oh, okay. Come on, go this way. Okay, we gotta go up this way more. There we go. Okay, go under the slide.
I think some of my army men are still buried there.
Okay, we got that little quadrant.
Of course I had to. You want their bodies lying all over the house?
Okay, that one's good. Like I said, it's just the movement is just so ridiculous. Okay, we got a little bit more by this wall here that I gotta get rid of. Okay, we got that. I think we got one little tiny... Oh, how did you go around that? Really? There we go. I wonder if I can take it through the garden. Oh. Wondered if the wife would get mad at me. Okay, so let's go. Let's see, where do we got some more? We got, oh, over by there, okay. There we go. Lawn is mowed. Let's try to climb up the slide the wrong way, shall we? So even little things like climbing up ladders or stairs. What are you doing? Nope, it's just not happening. Come on. Trying to climb up the slide backwards, up the slide part. And it's just not, nope, it's not happening. Come on. Here we go. Nope. Okay, enough of that nonsense. So half the fun, especially early on in the game, is just, you know, wandering around the environments and just trying to interact with everything. I'm not going to, you know, interact with every item in this backyard or in the house, but, you know, you got to try it for yourself just to see kind of some of the nonsense that you get to play with. But it is pretty amusing. Okay, so now we got to cut some firewood. So... okay, let's drop that over there. Okay, why don't you go a little closer? Grab that. Shove you over there. Now, watch when I put... yep, so when I didn't even move it over there. So once I get it in the general vicinity, that's one thing that makes this game at least as playable as it is because... you know, if you actually had to try to line everything up, it would be impossible. So once you get an object, you know, especially ones that have to do something together, you know, like putting the burgers, well, the burgers on the grill weren't so bad, but like the wood, certain things later on, like in the game, it will do a little bit of auto placement for you, which... like I said, I'm glad for, because otherwise it would be quite the interesting endeavor to play this. Okay, let's drop this again. Okay, put that up there. Grab my trusty tool here. Perfect. Oh.
Oh no! I hope there weren't any eggs in there.
Okay, so now we gotta... go pick up the birdhouse here. And the camera can be a little bit of a problem sometimes. Like, you don't have full control. I can, since I'm using the controller, I can use the D-pad and do a little bit of like a pan, a camera pan, but when I let go, it pops back to the middle. So you can kind of get an idea of what's around you, but it's not really like a free-form camera movement thing. So we're almost done with this level here. See, right here, it's like, I can't... oh, I can now, but like... okay. We're gonna...
I've got you now!
Now, this is a guy that reoccurs in this. Come on, get away. No! So this is a nonsense. You're always fighting this guy. And you learn
Honey,
the...
what's going
Okay,
on over
I'll
there?
stop here. Nice. Nice fence, buddy.
Anyway, I have a surprise for the whole family. A free trip to the aquarium.
No,
I
no, he's
know you
shaking
think
his head.
aquariums are festering prisons of iniquity, but I've got to write an article for the paper. Can't you make an exception this time? For me? Oh, groceries. We need to go to the grocery store. We need things like cereal for the kids. Right, kids?
Well, we already have cereal.
We need so much cereal.
Then it's settled. We're all going to the grocery store.
I want Sports Johnson cereal and pizza and soda and chocolate milk.
And I want an apple.
Okay. So, we finished the one level. I'm probably not going to play through this whole level. I'm only going to... I do want to go into it, though, because I want to show you... like I said, just an idea of some of the navigational stuff that can be really tricky. Like right in here, you're a little bit more, it's a little bit more freeform because, you know, you're just trying to collect items in the store. It can be a little bit frustrating. But when you are actually, you know, doing more of the gamey stuff in the next couple of levels, that's where things can get a little bit harder. So this is where we would go if we were playing straight through the game, and we go to the grocery store. So if I look at my objectives, we have to get chocolate milk, an apple, a pizza, and okay, so like I said, I'm not going to get all of them, so we're just going to end some cereal. So
revolutionized the modern shopping experience. Everything here is automated and handled remotely.
okay, all right, let's take a look at this, huh? Okay. Alright, so enough of that nonsense. So the pizza here. I had trouble with this. I was getting so frustrated because I just could not figure out what to do. Now, it says out of order there, so all of these things, all
Our
these...
freezer section is all frozen up. We're working on getting it fixed, but we're sure at least one freezer door is working.
Right, so there's a little kind of announcement about the freezer. Since the... Would you... Lady!
Sorry. Does anyone work here?
Okay, so we're going to go down and we're going to see if I can actually do this now that I think...
so much milk, I think I'm utterly in love.
You should be beaten for that statement. God, that was lame. Okay, so what we have to do is presumably we have to get above, we have to get over these shelves. And I could not for the life of me figure out how in the heck I was supposed to do that. So this is where you really have to start learning some of the more, like, you know, we've been just kind of walking and we can kind of fudge our way through, you know, a lot of what we've been doing so far, but you really do want to practice, especially in some of these areas, just, you know, making up your own fun, exploring the areas, and kind of getting some of these, like, climbing and advanced techniques down, because unfortunately you're going to need them a lot later when the game gets a lot more frustrating. So let me try to climb this. Let me see if I can remember how. Okay, so what you do is you take your one leg there. So I got my left leg, and then if I take my right leg and I swoop it around. Wait, okay. No! How did I do it before? Because you gotta... You can't just go forward. You have to... Okay. See, this is where I got frustrated. So, okay. Oh man, I had trouble with it the first time, and then when I tried to do it again just to see if I could, I did it like right away. Now I can't do it again, period. So what if I... Okay, I got that up there. So now if I take my left leg, there we go. So you have to get your one leg in place, and then you just have to kind of whip yourself around. So it's hard to explain how to do it, but you can't just go like in the direction that you want to. You kind of have... Boom, there we go. Now we can get our pizza. And there we go. Scored some pizza. But yeah, so that one in this store, that was the most frustrating objective by far. The other ones are actually pretty easy. Like, kind of like the apple, the milk, the cereal was not bad. That kind of introduces you to some of the stealth stuff. The pop. This was a little hard too. Let me see if I can do this one, and then we'll wrap it up here.
Only Gerbison's has a soda city big enough to handle all your biggest events.
Okay, so let's take our... Come on. Yeah, there we go. Okay, whoa, stay... No, stay up there. Okay, I'm not... you know what, let's go on the other side, because... Let's go over here. Because I think this is where I got it last time. It was easier. Okay, let's go up. No, come on. Climb up Soda City here. Come on. Come on. You know you wanna. No. Okay. No. There you go. Okay. Oh, come on. Grab it. Yeah. There we go. Doing it. Okay, you know what? So I think we're going to end this part here. I might, since I haven't actually looked at it yet, I'm kind of curious to see how it works. Let's take a look at the workshop before we wrap up the video. But this should give you an idea of what Octodad is like. Like I said, the whole control scheme and the humor and just the absurd nature of it all. And like I said, the story just goes in, like they do explain a lot of the backstory. You're like, well, how did they get married if they're like an octopus? And what's up with this weird chef guy that you keep seeing around? All those questions do get answered in a weird way. So let's back out to the main menu and workshop. Let's see. All right, we'll browse. Oh, shoot. I wonder if this is going to not record. You know what? That's boy. Maybe I won't do that because I'm not sure if Fraps is going to let us do that. So, hopefully I didn't just screw up my recording right now. I forgot that because I'm not recording the Windows desktop, I'm just recording in the game itself. It may or may not like when I go out to when they do the Steam overlay for the workshop stuff. So, you know, it is there. I know there are some things out there. I haven't delved into that myself really yet, but it's something that I am intrigued by, because I hope people don't just make like sadistic obstacle courses. I hope they come up with some kind of more kind of open-ended, inventive areas to explore, because that's where this game really, I think, shines the most. You know, you're doing these kind of mundane objectives, walking around, you know, these, you know, different environments, and like in the first level, especially when you're at the wedding, you know, you have no idea what the controls are like. You're trying to just master the whole idea of everything, and you know, you're wrecking the banquet room, knocking over tables, there's stuff flying all over, grabbing stuff by accident. You're just leaving this like cyclone of chaos behind you. And it's just funny, you know, every so often you hear his weird little gurgles and noises and funny things that he does. And just his reaction to the family and just the characters in the game are pretty priceless. So like I said, I'm really glad that indie games are really taking off again, whether they're through Steam or Xbox Live or PSN, whatever, because this is where I think you're really getting a lot of your fresh ideas. I'm glad that this may not be everyone's cup of tea, this may not be everyone's favorite style of game, but I'm just glad that stuff like this can exist, like jazz punk. I mean, yeah, the humor is really bizarre. Parts of it fall a little bit flat, but parts of it are hilarious. And so I'm just glad that these types of experiences can exist. All these funny and bizarre ones, these open exploration ones like Gone Home and like I've talked about before. So that is Octodad Dadliest Catch. It's available on PC right now. I believe it's around $15, which maybe a little bit expensive. I got it for a pre-order price. It was a little bit on sale. The game is pretty short, although a bit frustrating toward the end. It's available on Steam. I believe it's coming to the PS3 or PS4 or both pretty soon. Not sure about the Xbox platforms, but I know that it is coming to Sony consoles here fairly soon. So if this looks interesting to you, I would definitely recommend it, because it's one thing to watch it, but it's another completely different thing to actually try and grasp the controls for yourself, because it is definitely unique and definitely pretty funny to try to do. And before I do wrap up, there's another option in the main menu, co-op, and I think that's where like two players can control. You're both controlling, like one controls like the arms or legs, or one controls the left side or the right side, or some ridiculous thing. And as absurd it is when you're trying to play it by yourself, I can only imagine the hilarity and frustration that a co-op version of this game could bring. So there is that as well. So that is Octodad. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I sure did. And yeah, then until next time, I will talk to you guys again later.